Numerous spots along Route 59 in Kent are hot spots for accidents. Good evening, Kent State and all of Portage County. I'm Gabriel Kramer. Expanding the jail, whether short-term or long-term, is going to have a price tag, and where that money comes from is still in consideration. Dr. Dan the Pancake Man is a new internet sensation. Patrick Clark shows us why his creations are selling, well, like hotcakes. The Rocky River Municipal Court closed in on Indians pitcher Chris Perez today. Perez was charged with a misdemeanor count after 2 packages containing marijuana was delivered to his home. After changing his plea from not guilty to no contest, the court sentenced Perez to pay a $250 fine. What if your child was left without health insurance because of a mistake made by Congress? This may be a reality for up to 500,000 children. It's called a family glitch. You know, Nicole, when I woke up this morning, pretty chilly outside, but now just a completely different story.
Thank you, Caitlin. A very sad day in Ravenna, mourning the loss for a single father, a father of 5 young girls, and lost his oldest when a train hit their family car.
Oh my gosh.
911, where's your emergency?
It's the phone call a little sister should never have to make.
Our car just got hit by a train and it like flipped over.
Okay, where?
That's the voice of Sierra Thornton's little sister, moments after a train struck her family's car. And in fear for her family's safety, Sierra died at the scene.
I didn't believe it at first.
Yeah.
It was like hard to accept.
A number of Ravenna students came to the railroad crossing to pay their respects.
She was really nice, and she had a lot of friends, and she was a really good person, and you'd never think that something this terrible would happen to someone like her.
At about 6 o'clock Sunday night, the Thornton family was leaving home. The oldest sister, 15-and-a-half-year-old Sierra, was behind the wheel, but they never made it out of the neighborhood. Right behind me are the railroad tracks where the accident did occur last night, right off of Prospect Street, which is right behind me. Now you can see a stop sign and a railroad crossing sign, but no additional warnings if a train were to come. But last night, Sierra's dad did say that he did hear the train coming, and Sierra just panicked and stalled on the tracks as the train came by. Sierra had only driven about 3 times with her learner's permit. The accident is still under investigation by the Portage County Sheriff's Office. But Sheriff David Doak said the collision threw the car about 75 feet and the vehicle had to be cut open to release passengers.
The dad was able to get one of the children out of the vehicle and was trying to get Sierra out of the vehicle, but there's no way that he could have got her out of there with the damage that was to the vehicle.
Sierra's father was taken to Robinson Memorial Hospital with minor injuries, and her 4 sisters were taken to Akron Children's Hospital. Ravenna High School added a message to its electronic sign today saying, quote, "Dear Sierra, you will always be in our hearts and dearly missed." A vigil is scheduled Monday night at the Ravenna First Church of the Nazarene on Brady Lake Road.
And I'm Gabriel Kramer. We have more on that fire, but first, just over an hour ago, a car accident near campus resulted in 1 person being taken away in an ambulance. School spirit like this fuels the athletics at Kent Roosevelt High School. But not every team feels like a part of the camaraderie. Roosevelt's girls golf and swim teams don't compete in the Portage Trail Conference, unlike the rest of Roosevelt athletics. The reason being, not enough teams in the PTC have girls golf and swim teams. But changes are on the way as the Kent City School Board approved Roosevelt's move to join the Suburban League in the 2015-2016 school year. The girls' golf team will then compete within the new conference. Golfers Karina Wise, Jocelyn Cole, and Corey Nielsen look forward to playing against the same schools as their fellow classmates.
Like, we got beat by Magnificat, and like everyone came to school and they're like, "Oh, how'd you do?" And we're like, "Well, we got second." And they're like, "Who'd you like lose to?" And we're like, "Magnificat." And they're like, "Who is that?" Like, they had no idea, and they don't know our rivalry against them.
Where we go, people never know where we go because we go so far away to play. It might be more fun to face teams that are at our level because we'll have more fun competing.
The Kent Roosevelt Gymnasium is full of banners for league championships in every sport the school offers, except the girls' golf team. But when they join the Suburban League, they'll be competing for a league championship and have a chance of putting up the first girls' golf banner in the gymnasium.
All we're talking about is we want that banner in the gym, and we want it to say our year on there, have everyone recognize like that there is a girls golf team and that we are a really good golf team, actually.
Switching conferences was no cost to the district. The only cost to the Roosevelt Athletic Department would be to fund about 44 additional miles of travel per sport. In the eyes of Roosevelt Athletic Director Mark Paff, the additional travel costs were outweighed by the benefits the students receive of joining the Suburban League.
We're very successful in the PTC, but I also think we can be very successful in the Suburban League, and I think there's more opportunities for our kids in the Suburban League. You know, I don't think the PTC is looking forward to trying to find somebody to replace us, but I think that they realize that we have done what's best for our school and our kids. Although they've never had a chance to compete for a conference championship, the girls golf team has still had plenty of success in the state playoffs, including this year's district title and trip to the state tournament. From the Spirit Rock outside of Kent Roosevelt High School, I'm Gabriel Kramer for TV2 News. 10 years and counting for George Lemons as a food service worker in the Kent State Rathskeller. In the past few years, his kitchen changed from a pizzerina to a Damon's and now Quaker Steak and Lube. But George likes to change and sees it as a new opportunity.
Hate to be stale. I'm one of the lucky ones. I get moved around a couple times, and I get a change after a couple years.
Kent State students have seen the Rathskeller transform 2 times in just 3 years. Director of Dining Services Rich Rowland explained that with the downfall of Damon businesses across the nation, it was time for a new business in the Rathskeller.
It was very tarnished, and the lack of support, the lack of brand support for us, it was just the right time for us to move and get a brand like Quaker Steak and Lube.
George has worked downstairs in the Rathskeller when this sign has read Pizzerina and Damon's Grill, but he said working at Quaker Steak is a much better experience.
Put 100% better, to be truthful, just because of the attitude and the way we're taught.
Seal the deal.
Some people thought they had, with Damon's in, you had to suppress it and, it had to be so serious. I mean, we're serious now, but we're serious with a smile.
Triple atomic.
George is definitely confident in his product, and as far as who has the best wings,
I don't want to brag, but us.
He even gave me a little taste. For TV2 News, I'm Gabriel Kramer. And tonight, that means pride. Pride, sacrifice, and bragging rights for the next 365 days. So let's take it away to Community Bank Stadium, where the Ravenna Ravens are playing some blue turf. Kent Ravenna, 99 years, who's coming away with it 10 yards from the end zone. Dustin Monaco, check out this trickery. Pass, Luther Fortson, Corey Spicer wide open, and the Roosevelt Rough Riders extend their lead 14-3. Still in the second quarter, Dante Monte Mayor, the mayor of the city of Kent. Just kidding, guys. He's just a kid. He's just a kid. He's in high school, but he's intercepting balls, and he's going to fall just short of the end zone. But great defense by the Rough Riders on this drive. But the Ravenna Ravens getting on the board. That's Warren Bradley, one of the team captains, twisting and turning his way into the end zone. And you know what? Jim Lenardi said, hey, guys, let's go for 2. You want to go for 2? Let's go for 2. And Bradley, why not? He does it once, and he can do it again. End zone, 2 points. Now Kent still in the lead, 14-11. Later in the game, Ravenna would tie it up, but Dustin Monaco, way too much. Here he is to Luther Fortson. They extend their lead 21-14 in the Rough Riders. They're looking good at this point. And once again, Dustin Monaco, he can throw it, but he can run it too. Walks his way into the end zone, and the Rough Riders go on to win the Battle of the Yard Trophy, 28-14. Here I am. We got Matt to my right, Crandall to my left. You saw the schedule. We've got South Alabama, Buffalo, Akron, all taking on the Golden Flashes. Which one of these games is going to be the toughest one for Kent State? Oh, it was great. I've been following both of these teams all week. I've been going to their practices, the captain's lunch on Wednesday, team dinners, everything. And you can see it in their eyes. Both of these teams knew what was at stake. They knew that this is going to go down. They said, whenever we talk to alumni, all they ever want to talk about is how they played in the Kent-Ravenna game. So both these teams wanted to come away with bragging rights, and it didn't matter what the records were going into this. They just wanted to get the victory and make a memory, because that's what it's all about. Dropping a 1-goal game to Miami 1-0. The game's lone goal belonged to the midfielder Kayla Zakruski, coming in just the 5th minute of play. Now, Kent State would continue to bombard Miami goaltender Allison Norenberg with 12 shots on goal. The loss dropped the Flashes to 7-5 overall. They travel to Buffalo Friday. TV2 is still in pursuit of application materials from the Kent State presidential search. The request was put in 6 weeks ago. The university is using a private firm, Storbeck and Pimentel, to handle the search. The university won't complete the request until the university retrieves the materials from the firm, and they won't indicate when that will happen, which counters a few court cases across Ohio. And I'm Gabriel Kramer from all of us here at TV2. Have a great night, Portage County.